Hi, ladies, it's Barbara, and I am your menopause drama mama. And if you are new here, I welcome you and I hope you enjoy my videos. Um, the other day, this is not what the video will be about, but I talked about the weather and this going on with the pressure outside. So, boy, I am hurting lately. Almost every day, where our pressure either is dropping or it's going up, and then it's going down, and then it's going up, and then like right before I started this video, I barely touched my temple and it hurts. I'm not suffering from a headache yet, and I pray I'm not, but the last 2 days I did. So it's hard to get through my days lately, but I go to bed early and I get up and I pray that it's gone. So if I am not consistent again with videos, it is because I am just down and out with these horrific headaches, and menopause is not helping them whatsoever. Um, so anyway, I feel for you ladies if you are suffering like I am lately with all the dropping and rising in our barometric pressure. I am right there with you in the same boat. We are all the same women going through the same shit with menopause. Um, so anyway, today I did want to talk to you about glucose. And glucose is a type of sugar, and our body uses it mainly as a source of fuel. I know some people, they cannot have glucose because either they are, you know, type 1 diabetes and their bodies do not produce insulin. So, the glucose cannot enter our cells properly. Type 2 diabetes, I know that you cannot either have the glucose because the blood sugar spikes extremely easily and you're in a high risk of progressing, you know, to diabetics if the glucose intake is too high. Um, or that was a pre-diabetes, but the type 2 diabetes I was just talking about. So too much glucose, affects your nerves, your eyes, your kidneys, and can cause heart damage. So I know those people cannot have glucose, but why glucose is so important to our bodies is because it fuels our cells, it powers our brain, and our nervous system. That's extremely important because I was talking in one of my last videos about dementia, and our brain, pretty much that's what it totally is fueled by for its energy, and that is the glucose. Also, glucose gives energy to your muscles and it feeds your mitochondria, those little factories, energy factories in our body. Now, glucose is used, from what you eat in food. The food is broken down into glucose. The glucose enters your blood, and the cells use it then for energy, or they store it later. And we don't like it stored later. So, um, like for mainly right now, because the more glucose that gets stored, then it gets that visceral fat around our organs, and that complicates a whole lot of stuff in our health. Um, the important connection between menopause and glucose is before menopause, the brain relied heavily on glucose for its energy. After menopause, it changed the estrogen dropping or declining significantly. It made, with that decline in estrogen, it made that glucose less efficient to work for our brain because we weren't able to break it down now. And that's what caused our brain fog, our fatigue and the mood changes. So that's why metabolic and mitochondrial health becomes so important after we're 50 years old and literally go into our transition of postmenopause years. Um, Glucose is our body's primary fuel that feeds our cells and our mitochondria for energy. It is best found in fruits and vegetables. And like here is the list of different fruits and vegetables that you can eat to get your glucose or healthy glucose, not a refined sugar, but your healthy glucose. So it would be berries, apples, pears, cherries, grapefruit. Grapefruit you can't have if you're on, I believe it's heart medication, statin drug, high cholesterol, and kiwi. And the pear, you can pair your fruit with a protein fat for a steadier um, glucose intake into your cells for energy. The best vegetables are leafy greens, which would be your spinach, your kale, your arugula, and romaine lettuce. Broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, bell peppers, asparagus, green beans, and Brussels sprouts. And these vegetables are slow in glucose absorption, so you won't get that the high insulin spike from those veggies. And they also help support your health gut and your mitochondria. Now the starchy vegetables that are good for your glucose intake would be sweet potatoes, winter squash, beets, and carrots cooked. And they're best eaten with a protein and fat to keep your glucose stable. Now, women, after our estrogen has dropped, the best way to make sure we can try and get that glucose into our cells to, for energy, because basically the doors are closed on our cells after it's not receiving that estrogen anymore. So the best things you can do is walk, so after a meal, about 10-20 minutes is really powerful for your body. Strength training, I always encourage that, especially start light if you have not exercised in many years. So that strength training will help build your glucose um, hungry muscles. And eating uh, fiber first at meals, so your veggies before any carbs, and also pair your carbs with protein and a healthy fat. So choose the right carbs with your diet to get that glucose into your system. And so that would be, like I said, your berries, your apples, your pears, your sweet potatoes, your squash, oats, quinoa, and beans and lentils. So that stuff is very good for you to get that energy from the glucose into your system. And also, you should avoid juice, white bread, sugary snacks, and refined carbs. Now, I heard about bread, and I'm going to do a video on this because at first I want to do the research and have some articles and stuff on it. But you can have bread, but when you buy it, you freeze it for 7 days, then take it out. And I have to read again what it is that having the frozen bread for 7 days, it changes something in the molecular system, I believe, in bread. So making it healthier for you to eat, but not like a whole loaf at one time. Um, so also, if your glucose enters your cells, the mitochondria must convert it to energy. The best ways to support that are your B vitamins, which is your leafy greens and eggs, omega 3s, magnesium, and I always, talk about the magnesium glycinate and magnesium L-threonate because that one is the one that crosses your brain blood barrier. Movement, so some kind of exercise, strength training, yoga, some kind of fitness, and also a good sleep. Always get that 7 to 8 hours in every night, ladies. It is like what your body needs to heal at night. So, and it'll make you feel so much more better the next day, and you will not feel too tired, hopefully. So, okay, that's it to wrap up why glucose is extremely important for you. why you need that glucose in your system to get energy, and some of the best ways that you can do it naturally. Of course, HRT is, I'm a strong proponent for, only because I'm on it and I know what devastating effects I was going through after my menopause years, and not every woman goes through it the way I did. Mine was pure hell. And when I say pure hell, I don't think it could have got any worse for me, for all the signs, the symptoms I was going through. I'm not even sure if I would have made it without HRT. I don't know if I would actually be alive today because it was that severe for me. But not all women go through it. And I'm glad that I did find a doctor that did put me on HRT. But tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I am going to see an actual doctor from Menopause Society. And I will let you know how that goes. I am praying that she's really good and that I have a big connection with her. So, okay, as always, I'm sending my positive vibrations your way. Tons of loves, hugs. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. And, I hope to see you in my next video. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. That always helps. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it doesn't cost you a penny just to get free information from me that I've researched for many, many years. So, anyway, ladies, have a great day. Love ya. Bye bye.